Hello there. Right, I've been asked by quite a few people to give my views on the forthcoming fights tonight. So I'm only going to do the two main events. We've got AJ Ngannou and Parker Zhang. Okay, let's do Parker Zhang first. Right, quick analysis thing. We all know that Joyce beat Parker and then Zhang smashed up Joyce. But we also know that the fight, or we think we know, that the fight between Joyce and Parker looked like it took a lot out of the pair of them. But it also took a lot out of Joyce. I think more than it took out of Parker, because Parker was continuously smacking Joyce in the head. And you can't keep taking those, as was proven in his next fight, and then subsequently the one after that. So I think that Zhang took on a diminished, in terms of chin, a very much diminished Joyce. Now, we always knew that Joyce's skill level wasn't up there with Parker's, and basically the only way that Joyce would beat Parker was the way he did him, which was to walk through, take every shot and land your own. And that's exactly what he did, basically. So Parker was basically overwhelmed by something that he just couldn't knock out. Whereas when Zhang fought Joyce, I think Joyce was diminished in so much as his chin wasn't there anymore, and subsequently he got smashed up. So how does Zhang and Parker go? Well, Parker is much more skilled than Joyce. He's got better feet, better hands, better movement, better distance, all sorts of things. He's better skilled in all areas. Zhang is absolutely enormous. I think he weighs something like 290. And Parker, I think, was 245, something like that. Which ain't small. Or 254 even. One of those. It was 45 or 54. Either way, not small. But Parker's much quicker on the feet, for sure. Hands probably quicker, and he's got much better movement. So my prediction is that Parker will outmaneuver, outmove, out-hustle, outspeed, outdistance, out-time Zhang. My only way for Zhang to win is to catch him with one. If Parker stays in the pocket too long or gets too greedy, that's the only way I can see him getting hit, hurt and losing. And he's got to really get banged, because Parker's got a chin and a half, you've got to hand it to him. So I go Parker, either decision or maybe even a late stoppage. So there you go. On to the main event, AJ versus Ngannou. Right, first of all, let's put to bed the previous fight with Ngannou and Fury. Right, Fury got knocked down, we all know that, but he basically won every other round. Nothing really happened. It was a boring, awful, terrible fight. It just a mass hysteria over the fact that somebody in their first fight has gone the distance with the champ and knocked him down, and all this silly talk about, oh, I think Ngannou won. Or he didn't win. He lost anyway, the judges gave it right, he lost, apart from one of them that thought he won. But anyway, so you had the worst possible version we've ever seen of Fury, who looked like he couldn't be bothered anyway, against Ngannou, who, fair play, was much better than we all thought he would be anyway, from the clips. However, we've got a different, I hope anyway, a different thing with AJ. He's seen all that, he's looked at all that, and think to himself, hold on a minute, everybody's hyping this guy up, I better be on my best behaviour, so to speak. Well, I would argue that AJ is faster than Fury hands-wise and punches harder than Fury. Fury's a better boxer. The prime Fury, I still say, would beat AJ fairly comfortably on points, and maybe even a late stoppage, a la Wilder or something like that. Fury's already shown he can take, well, so far anyway, he can take what's coming. But here's the thing. I'm absolutely convinced that AJ's going to just demolish Ngannou and just smash him up and show him that an MMA fighter doesn't truly belong amongst the elite of boxers. I hope that's what happens for the sake of boxing. Now, people come out with all sorts of excuses and saying in the heavyweights this, that and the other, and one punch this and it's different. And so, if the skills are there, no novice should last more than a round or two at best with a heavyweight champion or a former heavyweight champion or a top 3, 4 in the world. They shouldn't last a round or two, if that. Absolutely no way. You imagine anybody from UFC or any MMA or whatever at 135 going up against the likes of Duran, at 147 going up at the likes of Leonard and Leonard and Hearns. At 160, think of them going up against Hagler. At 168, think of them going up against the likes of Joe Calzaghe, Carl Froch. At 175, think of them going up against the likes of Roy Jones, Bob Foster, Spinks, Dwight Quarry, can't remember. You think of a 205 dropped to 200 and coming up against the likes of Holyfield and Quarry and David Hay and all that lot. It just would be an absolute massacre. And it should be at heavyweight. I hate it when I hear all these excuses about heavyweights are different. Yeah, they're different because the skill level is absolutely diabolical compared to the lower weights at the minute. But you go back in time, you imagine someone like Ngannou against the likes of Tyson, Frazier, Ali, Holmes, George Foreman, all them lot. They would absolutely decimate him. Decimate. So the fact that these heavyweights today are struggling, if they struggle, shows the real standard of heavyweights today, apart from Usyk. Anyway, that's my 10p's worth, or 2p's worth, or 5 cents, or whatever you want to call it. There you go. That's what I reckon. See you later.